This is day kind of 3 of review because we did Friday, Monday, this is Tuesday. Starting with number 20, we're going to get at least 10 questions done today, hopefully. And there we go. So starting with number 20 and working backwards. F of -2, and then they give you f of x. What do they want to do?
Plug -2 in for x.
Yep, plug -2 in for x. So f of -2. We're going to do some of this stuff in our head. Maybe all of it. Okay. All right. So I just rewrote that in there. Is my exposure up too high? Is it too bright?
Kind of.
Too bright?
Yeah.
A little bit? There, how's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I just wrote that in, filling in the -2's, yeah? All right, now here's my question to you, because I see people do this wrong all the time. Do you take 3 times -2
No.
and then cube it, or
No,
take
no.
-2 cubed first?
-2.
You take -2 cubed first. Exponents come before multiply. So -2 to the 3rd power is -2 times -2 times -2. What's that?
-8.
-8. Okay, so is that 3 minus 8 or 3 times -8? 3 times -8, which is -24. Okay, so let's write down that down below. Next, move on to the next one. Let's do -2 squared. Is it 4 or -4?
It's 4.
It's +4 because -2 times -2 makes the negative go away, right?
It's -4. Oh, wait, -8.
Okay, so -2 times 4 is -8, and then I have -6, right? So I can add stuff together as long as it's smaller numbers, like -8 and -6 is -14. And -24 and -14, what's that make?
-38.
-38. There he is, right there. Okay, good? That's f of -2, that's it. You're just plugging them in. All right, note that we did that all in our heads without a calculator. You can do it. You can do it. Okay? 19, determine whether the graph of the following function is a function.
Yeah.
Is that a function or not?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because you can drive. Oh, no, it's not. Wait.
Isn't it like the line thing?
You do the vertical lines. So I do a
No,
vertical
because
line.
It's at 1 and 0 on the x or whatever that is.
What do you mean?
On the end, they hit it.
It is going slightly out though.
It is.
It is.
But it looks like
It is going
up
slightly
one.
out. So it is only hitting once
Oh,
at
okay.
each one of those points because it is going slightly out. I can see what you're talking about. Like here, you're saying it hits at multiple points
Yeah.
along here. It does not. We're gonna go ahead and say that he is going out to the side.
Okay.
So yes, it is a function. It passes the vertical line test. It passes the vertical line test. There we go. So yes, it is a function. Good, good. That was kind of a nice question. Yay. Okay. 18. Describe the transformation. They're saying that you're going to start with x squared and they want to know what this stuff is doing to it. Right? Like what are those numbers doing? Okay. So how many things are happening? Let's do that first to start with. 2, right? We have a -4 and we have a 3. So 1 and 2. Now, which one is happening? Is the 3 happening or is the -4 happening first?
-4.
How do you know?
It doesn't matter. Oh, because it's in parentheses.
If I were to plug a number in for x, would you subtract the 4 or would you multiply by 3 first?
Go 4.
I would subtract the 4 first. So we're going to say that the -4 comes first because it does matter sometimes. So -4 comes first. So what does the -4 do?
4 to the right.
To the right, yes.
Because
Right
it's
4
inside
units.
the parentheses.
Because it's inside parentheses. Right 4 units. Okay?
And the 3 means it widens. No, it shrinks.
The 3 is doing what?
Skinnier,
You're
you know?
multiplying by 3. So, like, think about your height. If I multiply you by 3,
Skinnier.
what does that make?
Makes you taller.
It's going to make you taller and skinnier, right? So it's going to make you taller. What's the taller?
Stretch by 3.
Vertical stretch by 3. Okay? Vertical stretch by 3. I'm making him taller, which will in turn make him skinnier, make him look skinnier, right? But vertically stretching him by 3, that's what he will look like, yeah? I have a lot of people with the -4 think that means down 4. What would down 4 look like?
-4 on the outside.
-4 on the outside. So down 4 would be like x squared -4 there. That is down 4. Okay, so just as a reminder, That's what down 4 would look like. The -4 on the inside is actually going to that's kind of a little reminder of what that looks like. All right? What if that was x plus 4?
Up 4.
This one. X
Oh,
plus 4. Right
to
here.
the left.
That would be to the left 4. If this was x plus 4, this would be
Up
up 4, right? Okay. So up, down, left, right, there's that. Okay, good. 17. Find the x and y intercepts of that thing, all right?
4. Well, the y is plus 2.
Right, right. So x intercept and y intercept, we'll do both of them here. Oop, intercept. There we go. Okay. Now, do you remember what you actually do? Yes, the y-intercept is 2, but what do you do to find the x and y-intercepts?
You set it equal x, you have to move over to the other side.
Kind of.
And then you solve for x, isn't it? So you move x to the other side, so it's positive 1/3, and then you take 3 times both sides, isn't it?
Kind of.
And then
Kind of.
it's
Well,
6.
yeah. Well, kind of, yeah. Yeah. So this is what I did for my algebra class. If you look at these points up here on the board, this point right here is at 4, 0. This point right here is at -5, 0. These guys are x-intercepts, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do they have in common?
0.
The y coordinate is 0. So when you're dealing with x-intercepts, the y coordinate is 0. So x-intercept, 0, goes in for y. All right, now the same thing for the y-intercept. This is a y-intercept. He's intersecting the y. Here he's intersecting the y also. What do those two have in common? 0 is the x. So you're plugging 0 in for x. Does that make sense? So that is why you plug those in for those. Because all the x-intercepts have 0 as the y-coordinate. All the y-intercepts have 0 as the x-coordinate.
Wait, so then was I right?
What?
On how to do it?
Yes. Well, kind of. So we're gonna plug 0 in for y. Let's do this one first. So y-intercept. I don't have a y. F of x is the same thing as y. So I'm plugging 0 in for x. So y equals -1/3 times 0 plus 2. Okay. So you said that the answer is just 2, and you are right, because when I plug 0 in for x, it just like makes everything else go away, right? So y equals 2, and 2 is the y-intercept. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Good? Okay, now we're going to plug 0 in for y on the other one. So 0 equals -1/3 x plus 2. All right, and then what?
Move the x to the other side.
We can move, yeah, let's go ahead and subtract 2. Let's move the 2 over. If you move the 1/3 x over to the other side, you're going to get the same answer, right? So now we have -2 equals -1/3 x. Okay, now how do I get the x by itself?
Times -3.
So I need to divide by -1/3, which is like timesing by the reciprocal, timesing by -3. So times by -3. This guy will cancel with that guy, right? Times -3. Okay, so x will be equal to 6, like she just said, right? Okay. Now, how do I use that to graph this thing?
Put them at each point, and it's just a line.
Yep. So y equals 2, x equals 6, and I draw a line in between them, and I can't do this that way. Oh, I still can't do it. There we go. There's my line. Make a better one than mine is, right? So that is an alternative to actually graphing the 1/3 x plus 2. So what we would normally do is we would start at 2 and then go down 1/3, right, for the slope. But that's going to do the same thing as what we just did, right? Okay, so there's that. Yeah? All right, so 16, describe the end behavior. How do you do end behavior?
As x goes to infinity,
Mhm.
y goes to, as x goes to -infinity, y goes to.
Yep. So you're basically filling this thing in right here.
Y goes to infinity.
Okay, just wait. Okay? And now I realize that this guy has bumps in the middle, but we're not looking at the middle, we're looking at the end behavior, right? What's happening on the ends. So the arrow on the right side, the arrow on the left side, basically what are they doing, okay? If I tell you x is going toward infinity, like this first part,
To the right.
that is going to the right. So as he goes to the right, all the way out to the right, what's happening to this thing?
Infinity. Y
He's
goes
going
up.
up, right? So this guy's going up, which means y is going toward infinity. Infinity is up, okay? Okay, then as x goes toward -infinity, that is like to the left. And as he's going to the left, what's happening to the graph?
Negative infinity.
He's going down, right? Like that, okay? So that's going to be negative infinity or down. Does that make sense? So basically every problem is going to be set up in the green just the same, but you just have to change the infinities and negative infinities on the y. Yeah? Okay. All right, good, good. All right. Ready? All right, 15. 14 and 15 are both substitution and elimination. Okay, so 15 is elimination. We want to eliminate a variable. We want to solve.
Top one negative.
Okay. So you're looking at the y's, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's where your eyes should go toward, no matter what. 5y and 5y. Those are going to cancel each other out if one of them is negative, right? If one of them is negative. So we have the option. We can choose either one to be negative, but Mallory wants to multiply the top one by a -1 and make the top one negative, which is fine. Okay. So when we multiply the top one by -1, I've got to distribute the negative through. So this guy is going to be like -4x and then what?
-5y.
Minus 5y equals -41. Perfect. And then the bottom equation is just going to stay the same. We're not going to change him at all. 5y equals 53. Okay?
3x equals 12.
Yes. So now we combine stuff. So the 5y's are going to cancel out like they were supposed to. -4x plus 7x makes 3x. And -41 and 53, you said was what? 12? 12? Okay. Then we're going to divide that by 3.
4.
Right? So x is going to be 4. Okay? Am I done?
No.
I wish. Then we got to plug that back in. Where do you want to plug him into?
The bottom one.
The bottom one? Does it matter?
No.
No, you can plug him into the top or the bottom. So Mallory says that
Does
the
it
bottom
matter if you plug it back into the original or into the one that you took times the negative?
you can plug them into any one of them. So really you can plug it into the original 4x plus 5y, you can plug it into 7x plus 5y, or you can plug it into -x, 4x minus 5y.
Okay.
You can plug it into any one of those three and it will work. Okay? So you want to do the bottom one?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So 7 times 4 is going in for x plus 5y equals 53. Okay? All right? And then 7 times 4 is 28. And we're going to,
Subtract it.
subtract 28 from both sides. Yeah? So 5y is equal to, whatever that is, 25. Yeah, 25. Okay? Divide by 5. So y is 5. Now, let's write our answer together.
So it's 4, 5.
4, 5, right? Like as an ordered pair. And this guy right here is significant. Why is he important? Like 4, 5. What happens there?
It's a point. It's a turning.
It's a point. It's not a turning point because these are both lines, right? Like this is a linear function,
yeah.
this is a linear function, right? I could rewrite this top one as y equals mx plus b. I could rewrite the bottom one as y equals mx plus b. So what's happening to 4 at 4, 5? Yes, it's where there's two lines. When I graph them, would cross each other at 4, 5.
Oh yeah, there's 2 lines.
Right? There's 2 lines, right? Those lines are crossing each other at 4, 5, yeah? Nice job. Nice. So, 14. Now we're doing that same procedure again. We're still trying to solve for that x and y, but now we're doing it by substituting. Okay?
Move 4y to the other
So, the first thing that we have to do is solve for one variable.
Move.
Okay? So when we solve for one variable, hold on just a second, we have 4 options. Okay? We could solve for the x on 2x. We could solve for the y on -7y. We could solve for just this x, or we could solve for the y on 4y. Which one is the best option of those 4?
Solve for x on this side.
Yeah. Solving for x here just means I have to boot the 4y to the other side and I don't have to divide after that, right? Okay? So how do I get the 4y to the other side?
Subtract it.
Minus 4y minus 4y. Okay? So x equals, can you subtract 4y from 2?
No.
No. So how do you write it?
X equals -4y plus 2.
Okay, -4y plus 2. Sure, that will work. All right, so there's that.
Plug
Now,
it into the 2.
yep, now I'm going to plug that into
Where the 2.
the top one, right? The x on the top. Okay? I'm going to plug it into the x on the top because we used the bottom equation to solve for x. Now we're going to plug it into the equation that we didn't choose, okay? So 2 times negative 4y plus 2. That's what's going in for x. Minus 7y equals 49. Right? This x right here that was there before now becomes what we solved x to be. Now I just made him uglier. Like the original equation was nicer than that.
You foil.
But why did I make him ugly now? Like
you distribute.
it feels like I'm going backwards.
You solve
right?
to solve for y.
Yes, now I only have y to solve for instead of an x and y at the same time. So, making him uglier, I'm not going backwards. I am making it so that I only have a y to solve for. So let's distribute. 2 and negative 4y makes a negative 8y, and 2 and 2 makes 4. Minus 7y equals 49. There we go. Okay, and then what?
Add 7 and negative 8.
Okay, so negative 8 and negative 7 makes
15.
negative 15y plus 4 equals 49. And then
You subtract make 4.
minus 4 minus 4. Negative 15y equals, what's that become?
5.
45? 45?
Yeah.
Okay, divide by negative 15. Divide by negative 15. Y is something.
3.
Kinda.
Negative 3.
Negative 3. There we go. So y is negative 3. All right, now,
And then plug it back in.
plug it back in. Where would you like to plug it into?
The x equals.
Yes, so I can plug it in here. I could plug it in here, but really we've solved that bottom equation for x. So we can just plug him in down here. Minus 4 times negative 3 plus 2.
X equals 14.
Yes. Negative 4 times negative 3 is 12 plus 2 is 14. There he is. Okay, so the point that I have,
Negative
14 comma negative 3, and why do I care about that point?
3. Because it's where they intersect.
Those two lines, if I were to graph them, if I were to put them in mx plus b form and graph them, they would cross at 14 negative 3. Right? Okay. Substitution and elimination will not come out on the test to be really disgusting. So if you're getting like 1.1735642,
They'll be whole numbers.
they will probably be whole numbers, yes. Yes. At the very worst, they will be like 1.5, which is not a terrible number, right? But they will not be any weird things. So if you get a weird thing, you did something wrong. Now, if I want to test either one of these points, like 14, negative 3, if I want to check 14, negative 3 and make sure that that is correct, I plug 14 in for x, negative 3 in for y, make sure it's 49. Plug 14 in for x, negative 3 in for y, make sure that's equal to 2. And if that takes place, then he is good to go, and I have done it right. Yeah? Okay, so you can check your answer. What? Okay, all right. Put this guy in slope-intercept form and then graph, okay? He has a greater than symbol. What does that mean I have to do? You can still do it. It's still kind of like an equal sign, but what's my graph going to look like?
Oh, it's going to be a dotted line.
Dotted line and
Shaded.
I have to shade. Dotted line and shade, okay? That's what that's the conclusion that I draw from that symbol, right? I dot that line and then I have to shade it in some way when we're done, okay? We need to put him in slope-intercept form. What is slope-intercept form, by the way?
Do you have a pencil sharpener?
Yeah, it's on the refrigerator. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay? So in other words, that thing that we have right there, we want to solve for y. We want to get the y by itself. Okay? So what would you like to move?
4.
Okay, the 6, how do we move him?
Subtract it.
Minus 6x, minus 6x. Whew, I'm running over the top of my stuff. Negative 2y is greater than, can you take 8 minus 6x? No, so how do you write it? Negative 6x plus 8, you betcha. Okay, and then
Divide by negative 2. But then you have to flip your sign.
you do. Then you have to flip your sign. So divide by negative 2, so y is less than now. Why did you flip the sign, by the way?
Because you divided by a negative.
Flip sign. I think we've written this down before. When times or divide by negative. Okay, flip the sign. All right. Negative 6x divided by negative 2.
Oh, 3x.
3x. And 8 divided by negative 2? Minus 4. So this is what I have here, and now I need to graph him. Okay, so let's go over here and let's graph him. Where do you start graphing that thing?
At -4.
At -4. Okay, right there at -4, and then you go from there. Up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, or down 3 to the left 1. Okay, make sure you're going to the right one if you're going up 3 over 1, right? Otherwise, your slope will be negative, and that's bad. Okay, so we said before he has to be a dotted line, right? Okay, and this ending part says y is less than. So where do I shade?
Shade under it.
Which way is under?
Like that.
Like that?
Yeah.
To the right?
Oh yeah, I know my right and left.
You know your rights and lefts. So there's that. That is technically less than. It is underneath, basically. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he is shaded. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Let's go to number 10 first. Okay. This kind of 10, 11, and 12 kind of go together, but they're kind of progressive. So like 10 is easier than 11, which is easier than 12. So let's do 10 first. Okay. Because they kind of baby step us into this. So find the slope of a line that passes through those 2 points. Okay. How do you find slope?
y2 minus y1 over x2.
Oh yeah.
Yep. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You betcha. Okay, that's your slope. The rise over run. Okay. So if you need to label these, it goes x1, y1, x2, y2. If you need to label them, you sure can. If you don't need to label them, you don't have to. Right? So which one is your second y coordinate? 8 minus 2 over 2 minus 8. Okay, 8 minus 2 is 6. 2 minus 8?
-6.
-6. So what's the slope?
-1.
-1. 6 divided by -6 is a -1. That's how it reduces. I'm fuzzy now. Okay. All right, so 11 is just going to be one more step more than that. So write the equation in slope-intercept form of a line that passes through 2, 6, and 3, 9. Okay. All right, so we want to write a slope-intercept form equation. What's slope-intercept form again?
Mx plus b.
Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so let's gather our thoughts here. Y equals mx plus b. That's what we want. Which one do we find first? Or what do we find first?
The slope.
The slope. So m comes first, and then after that we have to find...
X and b.
No, we already know what x is.
Oh, b.
We have 2 x's. We have 2 and 3 are my x's, and 6 and 9 are my y's. Okay, so I just have to find m, and I just have to find b, and then I'm done, right? Okay, so first we want to find the m, and we use the same formula as above, but this is a different point. So,
Ew, this is nasty.
y2, it's not terrible. y2 minus y1. What's your y2 minus y1?
9 minus 2 over 3 minus
Whoa! 9 minus what?
2.
No, it's 9
Oh,
minus
6.
6. 9 minus 6 over 3 minus 2. That's why you're getting confused. 9 minus 6 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. So my slope is
3.
3. Okay, so now I am at the point where I have y equals 3x plus b. Right? That's what I have now. And how do I find b?
You
It's,
plug in one of the y
y.
coordinates for y.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Plug in one
And
of
I
the
really
y.
have to plug something in
And
for
then the
x too,
x,
right?
You just take one of the
I just take one of the points and plug it in. So does it matter if I use 2, 6, or 3, 9? Which one would you like to use?
6 and 9.
What?
Isn't it?
Uh-uh. It's just one of the points. You either use 2, 6 or you use 3, 9.
You can plug in 6 equals...
Okay, you want to do 2, 6? It doesn't matter which one you use. So 6 has to go in for y, and 2 goes in for x, right? Okay, 3 times 2
6.
is 6, but then what do I do? So solve for b.
B is 0.
Minus 6 minus 6, b is 0. Oh my gosh. So now I have y equals 3x plus
0.
0, or just y equals 3x. So either one of those answers is correct. I don't care if you put the plus 0 or not the plus 0, it doesn't matter. Yes, sir.
So on like the when you find the slope and it gives you two coordinates, does it matter if like you do y1 minus y2 and then x1 minus x2?
Technically not.
I would do that.
Yeah, because what will just happen is like in this top one, if you would have done y1 minus y2, x1 minus x2, you would have gotten negative 6 over positive 6, which is still negative 1. So it'll just leave the top and bottom switch negative. Yeah, doesn't matter. Just as long as you do 1 minus 2 and 1 minus 2 instead of 1 minus 2, 2 minus 1. You have to make sure that you go in the same order every time. Good question. Okay. Number 12. Write an equation of the line that is perpendicular to that one, that goes to the point negative 3, 5. I don't know why there's an extra parenthesis here. Whatever. That's like a typo. Okay. So my line that I want needs to be perpendicular to 1/3 x minus 8. Okay. So let's talk about parallel versus perpendicular. I'm going to put that on the side over here. If two lines are parallel, what is true about them?
They will never touch.
They will never touch. And what else is true? If two lines are parallel,
They have the same slope.
they have the same slope. Because they will never touch. So same slope. Okay. What about the slope for perpendicular lines?
They'll have the negative.
Negative reciprocal. Okay, so my line that I have originally is 1/3 x minus 8. What is the slope of that line? 1/3, okay? But I want my slope to be perpendicular to that one. So I need to do the negative reciprocal of that.
So it'll just be negative 3.
Negative 3. So I want y equals negative 3x this time, plus what?
What? Minus 8. You don't do it all the way.
You never, ever, 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 ever use 8. Or whatever number's on the end there. The only thing you use the original one for is the slope. The only thing. So plus what?
Plug it in.
What?
Plug it in for each here.
We're going to do plus b. We're going to solve for b. Right? So we leave them as b. We don't make them negative 8 because negative 8 you never use. So we use plus b. Okay? And then we plug in negative 3, 5. So 5 has to go for y. Negative 3 has to go for x plus b. This guy is 9. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. And then I minus 9. So b is
Negative 4.
negative 4. Okay, almost done. Let's rewrite him.
Y equals negative 3x minus 4.
Y equals negative 3x minus 4. You betcha. There he is. Okay? All right, should we stop? And then we'll have the other 9 to do tomorrow? Yeah? Yeah, sure. Okay. There we go.